Um, Good afternoon. I'm gonna continue with the lesson that I started the last time, multiples. Remember last time I started with multiples, and I explained to you that multiples are like the same number repeating itself. Like the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. And the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, etc. The multiples of 4 are 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, etc. And then I also explained to you like a common multiple of two numbers is something that both numbers go into. Like a common multiple of 2 and 3 would be 6, because 2 can go into 6 and 3 can also go into 6. 8 is not a common multiple of 2 and 3 because only 2 can go into 8. 3 can't go into 8. And like the next one would be 12, 2 can go into 12 and 3 can go into 12. The same with anything. Like if I ask you what is a common multiple of 3 and 4, then I would say both numbers have to go into it. Like 12 is a common multiple of 3 and 4 because 4 can go into 12 and 3 can go into 12. 10 is not a common multiple of, because 3 can't go into 12 and 3 can't go into 10 and 4 can't go into 10, and 16 is also not a common multiple of 3 and 4 because 4 can go into 16 but 3 can't, and same with 15. 3 can go into 15 but 4 can't. So a common multiple of 3 and 4 would be like like 18, no, not 18, sorry, 20. No, not 20. It's like, let's say like 24, 4 can go into 24 and 3 can also go into 24. So 4 can go into 24, and so 24 would also be a common multiple. So now I've written down a few questions. It's very easy. This is grade 8 stuff in my country. I don't know, every country has its own syllabus, but in my country, the work I'm doing now is like grade 8 work, but I know some countries are working faster and some are slow. So maybe in your country it could be maybe grade 7 work, or even maybe perhaps grade 6 work, or maybe grade 9 work. But in my country we do this in grade 8. So I've got the question. The question is, there's 5 questions. List the following. Number A, multiples of 3 between 23 and 45. Multiples of 4 less than 40. Number C, multiples of 50 less than 500. Number D, common multiples of 2 and 3 that are less than 20. And number E, common multiples of 5 and 10 less than 100. So I don't know if you want to write it down first. Maybe you can just pause the video and quickly write it down. I'll just hold it closer for you. Then I raise it up a bit so you can see number E as well. Question E. Common multiples of 5 and 10 but less than 100. So now I'm going to do the answers. I'm going to do it one at a time. The answer to question A, remember the question for A is multiples of 3 between 23 and 45. So that would be like, I'm first going to give you the multiples, and I'm going to say the first ones do not count because it's going to be less than 23. Like it's the multiples of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, and 45. But remember, the question specifically asks you between 23 and 45. Now, let's say between 23 and 45. So they don't say less than 45. It's between 23 and 45. So the assumption that you will have to make is that 23 and 45 are included. So if 23 and 45 would be a multiple, I'm not saying that they are, but if you work out that 23 and 45 are multiples, they have to be included as well. So if 45 is a multiple, you have to include it. If 23 is a multiple, you have to include it. But as you will see, 23 is not a multiple, but 45 is. So you're going to have to include 45. So the answers are obviously 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, and 45. So once again, you can just pause the video and write it down if you feel like you have to. Question B. Question was multiples of 4 but less than 40. Remember in the previous video I told you that it goes on forever. It would be like 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, and it will go on till in the millions. Never stops. So but they specifically tell you less than 40. 40 is also a multiple of 4. But they say less than 40, so you don't include 40 because they say specifically, the question says, I underlined it when it specifically says it will be less than 40, so you do not include 40. So the answers are obviously 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and not 40. So I'll write it down for you. Question number B. Answer to question B. Question C. Multiples of 50 less than 500. So you will see that 500 is also a multiple of 50, but once again, just like in the previous question, say less than 500. So you're not going to include 500. 500 is a multiple, but because the question specifically says less than 500, you do not include 500. So it's going to be 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450. The next one would have been 500, but we do not include 500. I'm just going to give you the answer to question C. Then question D. Common multiples of 2 and 3, but less than 20. Now remember I said a common multiple, like common multiple of 4 and 5, for example, would be 20, because 4 goes into 20 and 5 also goes into 20. But 12 would not be a common multiple because only 4 goes into 12. 5 doesn't go into 12. So it has to be 4 and 5 goes into 20. But the question in this case, number D, they say common multiples of 2 and 3 less than 20. An easy way in this case would be, to do this, you would say, what is 2 times 3? 2 times 3 is 6. So it would be the multiples of 6, all the multiples of 6 would be common multiples of both 2 and 3. So it would be like 6, 12, 18, and the next one would be 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, etc. But they specifically ask you less than 20. So you're only going to do up until 20. So that would be like 6, 12, 18. And you can test it, you know. 6, 12, and 18. 2 goes into all of them, and 3 goes into all of them. 15 would not be a common multiple of both 2 and 3 because it's only a common it's only a multiple of 3. 3 goes into 15, but 2 doesn't go into 15. So 15 would not be a common multiple. Then the last question. It's common multiples of 5 and 10 less than 100. Okay, so once again, if 100 is a common multiple of 5 and 10, we're not going to include it because it says less than 100. It doesn't say up until 100. If the question said up until 100, then you would have included 100, but it specifically says less than 100. Now in this case, you could say 5 times 10 is 50. So 50 is a common multiple. Like you did in the previous question, you said 2 times 3. You could do it in this case, but it's not necessary in this case because 5 goes into 10. So all the multiples of 10 would also be multiples of 5. Like 10 divided by 5 is 2. You know, so 5 goes into 10. So every multiple of 10 would also be a multiple of 5. In the previous question, you couldn't do it because you can't say 3 divided by 2. You won't get around. You won't get a round number. You would get something like comma something something something. So in this case, because 5 goes into 10, you don't have to say 5 times 10. 5 times 10 is obviously 50, which is a common multiple. But there's an easier way. 5 goes into 10, so you can say 10. Every multiple of 10 would also be a multiple of 5. Because 5 goes into 10 2 times. So it would be like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Next one would be 100, but we do not include 100 because I say less than 100. So it would be 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, but we only do less than 100. And you can test it. 5 goes into 90, and 10 also goes into 90. 5 goes into 80, 10 also goes into 80. 5 goes into 70, 10 also goes into 70. So here are the answers for number E. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. That's it for today's lesson. If you have any questions that you would like to answer, it doesn't specifically have to be grade 8. It could be any grade, you know, up until grade 12. You can leave a comment on the YouTube video, and I will try and cover it. So if there's anything that you don't understand, like maybe anything in mathematics, and you don't understand, and you would like me to explain it for you, then I will try to in the following lessons, make a lesson about that specific topic. I hope you all have a nice day. Bye bye.